What? Yeah. They're not. All right, ladies and gentlemen, members, the meeting is reconvened. Members of the public are not to speak to councillors during this meeting. So, Councillor Johnson, would you like to clarify that point, please?
Yeah, thank you, Chair. I can clarify that the entries concerning the carbon baseline and the Section 19 review for flooding are within Appendix B of the budget pack, and they're on a page which is headed Investment Funded from the Innovation Reserve. So the Innovation Reserve is for items that we need to do of an exceptional nature, generally, and P1013 is the Section 19 review, and it's to sort out the effects of flooding that were experienced in October and January, and it's a sum of 200,000. Similarly, P1009 is develop the carbon baseline for Rutland with a range of activities and actions, etc., and that's at 150. Both those sums of money are for initial work to establish the baselines of what we need to do and to establish a programme of work that we then need to undertake. The resource we are talking about today is revenue-based resource, which I'm sure most councillors, including the previous leader, are fully aware of. This is revenue expenditure that is part of a revenue budget in places. It is not exceptional expenditure. And without the revenue expenditure, we will not be able to enact what is recommended from the investment from the Innovation Reserve, which is protected expenditure.
Thank you, Councillor Johnson. Yes, yeah, you can. I'm just going to raise a point here that if members do put misinformation out, it will be called out. Points of information are, of course, legitimate. Questions in disguise raising from those points of information are not. Councillor Harvey.
Thank you, Chair. As we know, there was no budget allocated for Catmose, whichever option Council were to choose, and the Cabinet were aware of the costs in November, months before the budget was set. As detailed in the alternative recommendation, associated costs over £250,000 have to come back to Cabinet. It's not clear from either of these or the budget papers how the costs will be met. It's worth us remembering that our officers have for the last few years offered advice on where savings can be made. All of these decisions are difficult. However, in this case, they are recommended saving opportunities. They don't prevent the underlying work of the two work streams, which have been budgeted separately, as previously noted. We are being asked to choose between a rock and a hard place. Mention was made of promises made to the electorate and not wanting to break them. This was regarding a flooding officer. I would ask what happened to the promises made by members sitting around this table last year. Those that made pledges supporting the gym, either around the table, standing outside with protesters, or on local media. I stood up and was counted last year.
How does this relate to the funding, Councillor?
Just my last sentence. I articulated my decision then. Since then, the picture has changed and we've had a positive procurement process. Make no mistake, this is a political decision. I stand by my reasons detailed at the previous exempt meeting. I've seen nothing to suggest I was wrong. It becomes a simple equation. Thank you.
Councillor Harvey. Other members? Councillor McRobb.